Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about Imperial Knights as we get into the Renegade Knightly House of Atrax. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. If you have any suggestions for topics, please let me know what they are in the comments section below. And if you enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. It is because of them that we can do this. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts and lore on the Renegade Knight House of Atrax. To fully take in the tragedy of the Renegade Knightly House known as Attrax, we must first understand the relationship between an Imperial Knight world and the Adeptus Mechanicus Forge worlds. Before the Imperium of Man ever existed, the human colonists that established Knight worlds were given the freedom to form their own contracts and oaths with humanity's center of technology, the Grand Forge world of Mars. Mars would provide technological guidance and support to these far-flung Knight worlds in exchange for protection of the many Martian-controlled Forge worlds. In this way, the two cultures created a symbiotic relationship. How powerful these bonds were was completely up to the individual Knight worlds and their Forge worlds, but the most common oath was known as the Sidon Protocols. It allowed the Knight House to carry the symbol of the Opus Machina, or the sacred icon of the priesthood of Mars, and by doing so, the house battled with the authority of Mars and the cult Mechanicus. The Sidon Protocols were a binding contract that created a powerful and honorable alliance between the Forge world and a Knight house. However, after the Age of Strife and the rediscovery of the scattered knightly worlds, the Martian priesthood allows some Forge worlds to abuse these protocols and enslave the desperate and dying Knight houses that were ravaged by the Age of Strife and their separation from Mars. House Attrax in the Forge world of Cycle 3 was an example of this tragic devil's bargain, where the Knights critically needed armor and technological support, and the Forge world used its desperation to strangle the independence of the Knight House. Bound in servitude to the grim Forge world of Cycle 3, the once proud warriors of House Atrax suffered under their new patron, the Archmago Strykovac, who blasted their homeworld into submission after they questioned the Sidon Protocols. The House of Atrax survived all the horrors of the Old Knight through stubborn force of arms, but over 2 solar decades under the direct control of Strykovac had left them a hollowed and distorted reflection of their former glory. Systematic and bloody purges of those scions who displayed any hint of rebellion had left the scions of Atrax a grim and brooding people, in whom the Mechanicum overlords had fostered a disturbing hatred of those who had escaped the fate that had befallen them. They looked to other Knight houses with anger and jealousy, forced to fight alongside them only if truly necessary. The poison husk of House Atrax's homeworld, Ariane, served the Magi as a source of raw material for their wars of conquest and expansion, with legions of imported slaves tearing the ore from the blackened rocks. The hellish existence of these slaves was made only possible by extensive augmetic adaptation, despite which mortality rates were disastrously high. For many Terran years, the demand for new labor was met by treaty arrangements between the Forge world and the distant worlds of the Mechanian Commonwealth, trading convicts by the thousands in return for arms and other advanced products. The remaining scions of Atrax also suffered terribly under the Magi. They were confined to the armored vaults that lay beneath the planet's scorched surface, released from their virtual captivity only when Strykovac summoned them to war. The knight armor of the house was kept separate from the scions, held as hostages for the scions' loyalty, for in the case of any armored revolt, the Archmagi could destroy the house's throne Mechanicum with but a word. When the Forge world pledged support for Horus's betrayal, House Atrax was forced to repudiate its oath to the Emperor of Mankind and side with the War Master during the heresy. Strykovac received his orders from the traitor and unleashed the warriors of Atrax on the world of the Coronate Reach. There, the twisted scions took a measure of revenge by slaughtering those who had not suffered over the years as they had, exulting in the freedom to stalk the surface in their armor before the Forge world caged them back again. The ground quaked as the Knights of House Atrax thundered forth, equipped with the Mechanicum Styrex, a rare pattern of knight armor. The Knights were specifically designed to eradicate infantry formations and supporting enemy vehicles. Blasts from the integral graviton guns pinned down helpless targets in place, while scything Volkite beams and flesh-boiling rad cleansers reaped a heavy toll on lives. The anima of these knights was steeped in slaughter and death in its most visceral sense. House Atrax quickly lived up to the dark reputation of indiscriminate butchery. This renegade house was forced to act as the personal bodyguard of their tyrant master. During the liberation of Numenor, dozens of Imperial Knights sacrificed their lives to protect Strykovac as the Loyalists recaptured the world. This forced destruction of their house would continue during the legendary Battle of Beta Garmon, where entire Titan legions were completely destroyed in one of the Horus Heresy's bloodiest conflicts. The battle which earned the title of the Titan Death was the last known appearance of House Attrax. Imperial savants speculate that either the surviving Renegade Knights escaped into the Eye of Terror alongside the other traitors, and were thus corrupted by the forces of chaos, or many finally tossed off their shackles of the Sidon protocols and went on to fight as free blades. A few scattered reports exist of knights adorned in the house's colors and arms after the Great Scouring. The 3 white daggers on a field of crimson, and the Forge World symbol centered above it is still reported to this day. And those were 40 facts on House Attrax. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys play any Imperial army, doesn't matter if it's Space Marines, Imperial Guard, Sisters of Battle, Adeptus Mechanicus, the fact that you can bring in a knight and it still fits the lore and your actual list is absolutely awesome, and everybody should do it. I don't know why I haven't done it. They might not be good in the tabletop, but that might change depending on the edition. Just having that like on display, something that you either homebrewed or in this situation where like you took it from one of the already pre-established houses that exist within the 40k lore, it's just awesome to add that to your army roster. Now that I'm playing the Crusade, I'm looking at my Adeptus Mechanicus and I'm thinking, what else can I add in order to get to 50 level? Like I said, the Imperial Knight might not be the best option, but it looks badass. So it actually would feel really cool to field one of these guys and then either give it homebrew lore or just, have it there as like support to the Adeptus Mechanicus, because there is a huge tie to the Adeptus Mechanicus. As a matter of fact, I should create a video showcasing how an Imperial Knight can basically get attached to any one of the Imperial factions and how it would be done. If you guys would like that, let me know in the comment section below. But again, I hope this inspires you to buy an Imperial Knight, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys have suggestions for any other house or any other topic of 40k, let me know what it is in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash the like button. I think that's the first time I've ever said smash the like button, because it actually does help out the channel and it helps out the video. So thank you guys ahead of time, and yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.
Oh, if you could put my sweet